Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode number 327, with me, George, and this week joined by RGT, collecting guru to my collecting wrinkles. Before I ask you how it's going, we know that we have to consort with the mighty YouTube algorithm and let them know that coming up we've got some Xbox ID tech report news. It sounds a bit dry, but there's a little bit more going on there, so stick around for that. And then we've got Brazil as a country deciding to stand up for all of us as gamers and take Sony to town over digital games ownership and preservation. Sony says no more discs. RGT, with all that said and done, the meat on the table, and, dear sir, ahead of time, let me tell everybody that yes, we've got a hidden gem, and yes, we've got a new theme tune. So, if you thought it was kind of like low production before, we've gone and spent a little bit of money, we've paid a little bit of licensing, and we've got a new tune for RGT's Hidden Gems. So sit down, buckle in, as I ask this fine gentleman, RGT, what have you been playing?
Pretty much one game for the most part, with another little game chucked in, but you can probably guess what game I have been playing, as I have gorged myself on it for the last 2.5 weeks to put 50 hours in. Is that wrong?
Yeah, forgive me, because my gamer brain made me forget everything that you'd ever told me. Some would argue I probably don't listen to a word you tell me, but Xenoblade, what's going on there then? Because you're pumping this out on the Switch 2 version, so you've gone back,
Yes.
you've gone gorged, as you say, like a little piggy with your trotters. You've gone and gorged on a fine slice of JRPG. Has it
Mm.
aged well, or have they give it a bit of a bum wipe and packed it off with a new set of clothes?
Um, it does look good. Sometimes you get the odd bit frame stutter and you get the odd pop in, and I sort of think, this is a Switch 2. And then you think, well, this was a Wii game. This is 20 years old, this game. It had a bit of a refresh. Well, I had a good refresh for the Switch version. And then with the upgrade to Switch 2, which I just done, I had the Switch version and I just done the upgrade pack on Nintendo eShop. It's about $8, $9, something like that. So yeah, but other than that, I think it looks good. I know some people like the sort of more pixelated characters from the original Wii, but this one they've gone for a more Nino Cooney sort of cell shaded art style,
All
which looks,
right.
yeah, when you zoom in on the characters and that, it looks really good. It's the same English actors who done the voice acting for the original when they brought it over. There's a few sort of bigger names, in there, which is very good. It's very well acted. I think the best two things for me is I love the combat. I had to learn this when I played Xenoblade Chronicles X 18 months ago. Had to learn it all from scratch. Took me ages to learn, but once you've got that combat down, you can move through the Xenoblade games fine. I think I'll be honest to say, I think it's some of the best combat in any game. I think that if you don't know how Xenoblade combat works, you enter fights, so it's like live action, but your character will auto strike, and then you have a row of arts along the bottom. So you move the character into position and pick the arts, which then will have a cooldown once you've used them, and you can select different ones. But by moving the character, each arts will get their best area where to hit. So if you move around the back of the character, you might get one of the arts might get double the damage because you're in the right area to hit them. So you
Mm.
can, that's quite tactical, but it's
Does
real
it
time.
have a timer system? Like you have to do this within a certain time, or could you pick these positions all day long if you wanted to?
You could pick the positions, but you'll have a little the enemy will have a little yellow arrow. So if he's locked onto you, he'll always stay facing you. But one of your arts is you could turn that arrow off, so you almost get invisible to him for 30 seconds, and now turn to one of your in your group. So then that
Mm.
frees you up to go round and then use the art's best. And then you've got your Monado, which has its own little art bar, which you click on, which does real big damage. And then you also have links as well. So if you press a link, you'll go around each one of your characters, one after the other, timing it to get a real big, powerful hit in all together. So I love the art style. I love the combat. The story's really good. In this original game, you've got a Mechanus and a Bionis. It's a bit of a take on real life, really, where these two big, massive sort of, I wouldn't say they're mechs, they're more like stone, these big sort of robot things fought. They nearly, they sort of killed each other centuries ago. And then there's people who live on the Bionis. There is robot people who live on the Mechanus, and that's about the war between the two. And it's a great story as it go on. You think you know the story, and then there's um, people who maybe turn who aren't who you thought they are, and that happens. And you go through all different areas. Each area is a big open world. You go from forests to beaches to snowy top mountains. Then there's side missions to do while you're on these. Now, some of the side missions, I will say, are from the era. So some of them are like, oh, there's monsters up on the hill. We need to get rid of them. Can you go and kill 5 monsters? So you can go up, kill 5 monsters, come back. Another one is, oh, my parents aren't speaking because they broke a gift. I need to fix this gift. Can you find me the ingredients to fix the gift? So you go off to the different areas. But there is fast travel in this, so you can knock these side missions out fairly quick. So it's not, they are of an age, the side missions, but some of them are pretty fun, quite good to do, and it levels you up a bit. You don't really have to level up, as far as I know. You can just mainline it. You don't have to grind if you don't want to. You can just mainline the game. Um, I think the maximum
Where
is
does that
nine.
leave you in the sort of battle styles, though? Because obviously JRPGs are synonymous with having to do a little bit of grind just to try and get your character to a point in time where you can
Yeah,
handle later stages.
it will balance above where you are. So, like at the moment, I'm struggling with a boss fight, which I would say is about 5 hours from the end. I'm struggling with this boss fight. He's 2 levels above me. That's all. So I might go off and just do a few side missions, get myself up level with him. Um,
So they don't auto level. So if you came to him at level 10, he wouldn't be 12. He would always be 17, as an example.
yeah, so I think they'll always be within a certain distance of what you are. So I don't
Oh,
think
they
that.
do scale.
Yeah, so I don't think you're ever going to go in. Say you manage to get there on, I don't think you'd ever would, but if you manage to get there on 40, he ain't going to be 70. I would imagine he would be just a few above you. So I think you can. I know people who have mainlined this in 30 hours if you want to.
Hmm.
So the game is possible. But I
That's
just,
very similar to a game I've been playing as well. This progression scale, almost like the better you are, the more grind you do, the more higher level enemies you're going to end up facing. So you make the game harder for yourself, and then obviously at that point it gets consistently harder as you earn experience. But that's interesting.
yeah, so it's a very enjoyable game. I like I say, I just like the story as well. It's typical JRPG. You get some, it gets quite deep with certain things with universe and the world and how it all starts. But like I say, I think just because of how they've upgraded it a bit, I know a lot of people aren't happy with the upgrade. I'm fine with it. Yes, there's a bit of grass popping as you're running along. Yes, you do get the odd frame rate drop, but it plays well. It looks good. I've had it on my big TV, looks really good. I've played it in handheld, still looks decent. Um, it's a it's a good game. I think it's stayed, the test of time for how old it is. Like I say, it's brilliant voice actors in there. And when I started looking them up, I thought, oh God, I didn't realise there was those people in there. We know them from, British shows and bits and pieces. I'm just trying to look up who there is. Kelly Bright. She's one of the voices in it. People may know Kelly Bright from like Rock and Chips, and I think she's been in EastEnders and bits and pieces. And another one in her early career was Jenna Coleman.
Hmm.
That was before she, got into TV, too big in that. I think she's in it as well. She plays Melia. So there's some good voice actors in it. It's well done. And I think it's one of them big epic RPG stories, and everything sort of clicks. Like I say, the combat's really good, graphics really good, story's awesome, and it all comes together and it gets quite an addictive game because once you learn all those, it feels really good and you want to keep playing more. And yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're into JRPGs and haven't played Xenoblade. I think it's had good ratings over the years, but I still think because it is locked on that Nintendo system, a lot of big people who play JRPGs don't really tend to talk about Xenoblade. They're sort of bit off on the side a bit, but yeah, definitely give it a go. I would recommend anyway. And the only other game I've been playing was my daughter and her partner for can't remember if it was my birthday or Father's Day or both. They sent me a couple of games on Steam,
Mm.
and one of them was a story about my uncle, which my daughter's partner had played through, really enjoyed it, so he sent it to me. So I started playing that on my handheld PC. I think it's quite an old game. I think it's like 2008 or 9. It's almost got that PS3, Xbox 360 aesthetic, but rezzed up a lot more. So I don't know if they've sort of remastered it a bit for the modern day. That's a first person game. It's a bit of a it's not it's a bit of a story to it. You're basically, it sounds like you're explaining to your son that your uncle was this explorer. You go looking for him because he's gone missing, and that's like in this underground world. And there's all these rocks and that moving, and it's almost not so much parkour, but you have powers with your glove that you can build up. So it's all about run and jump and locking
Third
on.
person, is it, or first person?
First person, and you lock on with your glove, and it's about timing it and jumping across and getting across to different areas and trying to find out the story to where he is. And you find these underground people there as well, and you get to explore around them and do bits and pieces. I don't think it's a short game, 3 or 4 hours long, but very enjoyable, very different. It's got that with that first person with the glove. It's got that sort of Bioshock feel, but not the Bioshock story, if that makes sense. But if you play Bioshock, you know about it. But then it's got that sort of Mirror's Edge as well, where you have to time it and do your jumps. And, some of them are quite tricky and you keep repeating them, but it always loads you back up to the last jump. It takes you 3 or 4 attempts, but quite satisfying when you work out you've got to jump from there and there, and your glove will only do so many power ups at a time until you power it up more. So it's really good. Yeah, it's a story about my uncle. I'll definitely have a look at it. I don't think it's very much on Steam. Have a look, and if you're into them sort of games, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. What about you, George?
Two games. One in particular, gotta say, doff my cap, because Indiana Jones. I'm playing it on the Switch. My only misgiving is that maybe I should have bought it on the Pro so I could feel the haptics and even better graphics, because the Switch 2 surprised me. I got Indiana Jones on there as a bit of a whim. Been enjoying the Switch, as we've all been discussing recently. It's handheld. You can sort of just curl up on the sofa and disappear into the world. Brilliant. This game is absolutely brilliant. You can see every single penny pouring out of his paws that they poured into it. I was nervous that the first person would be distracting in a exploration game. I couldn't have been further wrong. And bring me a pie of humbleness because I will chow down on it right now. Everything about this game feels Indiana Jones. Little did I know when I was playing it that he Troy Baker had recorded all of the original dialogue from Raiders of the Lost Ark so they could recreate that. I thought they'd just ripped it from the film and they were using Harrison Ford. I was wrong. He's revoiced it, and I tell you what, I can't get enough of it. His
I
performance,
didn't realize that was Troy Baker.
yeah,
He's a legend, isn't he, Troy Baker? It's
yeah.
so good.
And you can see in the facial mannerisms and some of the things he does, if you know him from other games, you can sort of see like his face coming through a little bit. But I'm fine with that. I think it adds to it. Um, Everything about it, from the music to the subtle touches, like your diary that you write your mission in and you keep all your little notes in. There's a moment where you're packing your suitcase to go away on the journey to begin your search for the Great Circle without putting too many spoilers in, because I think the story in this game is absolutely fantastic. But I will just throw this in. You open your suitcase, little book falls out, and the person that they've got work it that doing the voice and the actual capture of the guy, the English guy who helps Indy back at the museum,
Yeah.
his he looks and sounds fantastic as well. Anyway, this little diary drops out, and he says, "Oh, is that from Marion?" And Indy opens the front, and it says, "For your next adventure, love, Marion." And then he just sort of crumples up the paper and it plays her theme from the movie series. And I was like,
Oh
oh,
wow.
this is first class. Everything he says feels like something that's been cut from a movie. Like it feels like just one long kind of series of Indiana Jones. It is
Well, I
the
know when you've been speaking about this game, things like that they didn't really have to do because I would imagine the majority of people playing this are probably people who hadn't seen Indiana Jones because they're probably a lot younger. They didn't have to add these in, but there's little nods to people of our age group. It's
let's pick up on that because I do think, I looked at the reviews and apart from on Pure Xbox, everyone was giving it eights and nines. Pure Xbox slapped it up with, I think it was a five or a six. And I was like, wow, guys,
yeah. I remember there being one review that was a bit stinky. Was that Pure Xbox? Was it?
yeah. And I,
Wow.
I did think, you know, yeah, okay, I expect an Xbox site to maybe do a little bit of bandstanding for, an exclusive or a game that's got some props behind it is coming from, your development, your beloved studios or brands development house. But yeah, it went multi-format. Okay, that sucks a bit. But do you know what? Let's not let that get in the way of how good this game is. And the way you explore within it, like I just thought, no, I can't see me being able to get into that. I don't want a first-person shooter indie game. Like I was totally missold on it, and I'll hold my hand up. I made a boo-boo. Like this
Mm.
game makes you feel more like Indiana Jones than any other. And yeah, it does go third person when you do the jumps, but it feels completely natural. I thought that would be jarring, but it doesn't bother me at all. It just feels part of it. It allows you to sort of place yourself a bit better. Then it goes back to first person, you climb up and you carry on. I was also concerned that the first person fighting would get a bit sort of out there. I couldn't again be further from the truth. The fighting feels weighty. When you're in Oblivion or Skyrim or, one of these games, even sort of Condemned or Dead Island, you're just flailing around, just windmilling at things that you shouldn't be windmilling at. But in Indiana Jones, you're making punches and weight carries with them, and you're ducking and jiving and bobbing and weaving. And I'm like, wow, this. There are times where you do end up caught up on a bit of scenery, spinning around, punching down at people. But I'm willing to take those odd bits because the overall journey's so nice. Um, like I got to Egypt the other day and I had to climb up on a high point. Wasn't expecting this at all, by the way. Climbed up on a high point, just felt like it was part of the mission. Needed to find a tent. As I climbed up, it took control of the camera a little bit and put up the words like Giza 1930, whatever. And then as I panned around, and at that moment, you realize like the scale of the site that you have full ability to go into. You can see the Sphinx, you can see the pyramids, and just a frame of reference, the Nazis have built a damn train. And it's come chugging along, and you can see the black smoke pouring out the top of us as it comes into focus, like woo woo on your headphones. You're like, oh my God, this is next level. So I'm saying about they must have poured some money into this because the production values are on another level. The music is great. Obviously, let's talk some compromises. I'm playing it on the Switch. Why, George? I don't know why. Like I say, I'm into playing it at the minute. There has been some moments where I've seen a bit of popping, like the start of the game was a bit jarring. I know on the PS5 Pro, as an example, that whole jungle section is just rendered straight out the gates at high detail, no issues. So as you walk through, it all feels very real, very seamless. As I was walking through, now this is in handheld, so I'd probably ought to rerun it through on docked, right? But I was running it through handheld and light rays were just appearing out of nowhere and suddenly foliage propped up. But after that, it took you on a little bit more of a linear path and it happened less. It happens in cutscenes too. Like there was a moment, a really great moment where kind of Indy just finished a temple area or some sort of ruin, and it panned down to his feet. Sadly, it was one of those moments where I was like, "Oh, just wish I'd maybe had this on Pro because the sand texture kind of loaded in as the scene faded, and it was like, oh God."
Mm.
But every other moment when you're talking to characters, most of the in-game cutscenes are absolutely fine and solid. The areas that you explore look really great. This has all been on handheld, so I've been thoroughly stoked with that. And the game, it's just keeps on giving. Like I've tried to ease back on it a little bit because it feels like I'm gorging myself absolutely fat and stupid on it, and I don't want it to end. And I do this with games when I really enjoy them. I ease back on the throttle to the point where I kind of drop off them, but I don't want to do that. I still want to keep going. So there's a lot going on there. My other game I've been playing is Final Fantasy VIII, the Switch 2 version. So it's remastered. It's been kind of dressed up a little bit, but not that much. But you have got a fast forward bit which makes a difference. Now I've kept bouncing off this really most of my life, to be fair, but I persevered recently and really doubled down on this whole let's work out the summons or GFs as they're called, and let's work out this magic drivel. And yeah, okay. All right, it's very different to the Final Fantasies, but there's a lot to give there. I mean, considering that the game before this, it was just triangles walking around on a screen. No disrespect, Final Fantasy VII. And you walk into Final Fantasy VIII and it feels like a full-blown movie. Even the character models in the game look great. I feel like the backgrounds have took another level again. Um, the soundtrack I love. But the battles are a little bit hard work, to be honest with you, but I'm persevering with it. Like I'm junctioning my magic, I'm being a good boy, I'm doing all the things I should do. But as RGT mentioned with Xenoblade, I have kind of suffered a little bit with I didn't realize this at first, but Final Fantasy VIII has like an auto leveling thing, so they kind of always level with you. So if you struggle with an area, go back, level up somewhere else, come back, it will be just as hard as it was. They really want you to double down on learning the magic junctioning systems and other bits and bobs, which isn't really through a PS1 menu that intuitive, if I'm being brutally honest. Now, I know I'm a dum-dum. I know I am. I
Mm.
know I am. But yeah, it's hard to love, but there is so much to love. People say, "Oh, the character's stiff," and it is, but I'm not judging a book by its cover. I'm sure that'll all play out, and I'm looking forward to finding out. So, yeah, what I played so far, I think I spoke to you, RGT. It
Mm.
wasn't on air, was it? Where there was some section of Final Fantasy VIII, which must have looked in the time on PlayStation 1, absolutely phenomenal. You're doing an evac from a comms tower, you just beat your boss on, and one of the guys sets his robot on you. You've got 30 seconds to get back to the shoreline to get on board and get away. And obviously, I was panicking because every time I fought this thing, I barely did any damage, and then it got up. So then the game's teaching you to use the runaway or the flee mechanic. So I'd beat him down, flee, get a bit further down the road, it would jump down, and I fought it all the way into the town. And there's one section where I was running through the town. Now, I'm sure on PS1 it'd be seamless, but on Switch, maybe it wasn't so. Maybe equally it wasn't that switch slick on PS1, but you kind of ran down this street and it kind of swapped the still frame of the background once you got off camera for a CGI kind of replica. And blinking you miss it sort of moment. And then this sort of creature came smashing through the side, and it's like, wow, and tearing down the street after you. And the way it kind of seamlessly mixed the CGI of that era in with the
Clever.
sort of
Mm.
background, it looked really cool. It looked movie-esque. It was like a really kind of high level of production that they did. So they didn't use, oh, we can't use the game graphics, what can we do? And the way they answered that question was, I thought, really cool. So we tore it back. I've become a seed guy now, and now I've arrived in this place called Timber, via a weird kind of interlude where we all kind of blacked out, gassed, poisoned, whatever it was. And I guess maybe this is happening simultaneously. We became three other guards, or there were three other guards that we lived like a small window of time with. So I'm interested to see how that all kind of fits together as
Mm.
well. Um, Again, it was probably all signposted, and I've just sort of been playing in handheld while watching a bit of TV at the same time and totally missed it. So I'm sure everyone's laughing at me at home right now, but I've never really played this before, so I'm determined to give it a real solid try. Um, yeah, other than that, and a thoroughly passionate cry for Indiana Jones. I could tell you what, if I was an Xbox owner, yeah, sucks it wasn't exclusive, but when that dropped on Games Pass or wherever it dropped, that would have been the moment I think where if I'd have been a Games Xbox like full-time Xbox user, Xbox only, fully paid up Games Pass member, I'd have downloaded that game and I'd have played it, and I genuinely think I would have cried at the kind of culmination of maybe everything I wanted from the brand in terms of exclusives, what I wanted the
Mm,
Games Pass experience to be. I think if I'd downloaded that and felt that money coming out about, as an Xbox gamer, we want more exclusives, we want more single player exclusives, we want this, we want this, we want this. Finally, somehow the message got in. Finally, somehow they acquired a studio. Finally, somehow they acquired a license that people might give a rat's ass about, and finally produced a game that would have been the culmination, really, of maybe Phil Spencer's dream. Sadly, it didn't happen, but that shouldn't be the reason to pull indie down as a poster boy. I know everyone else is giving it 9 out of 10, and I've arrived late playing it on Switch, hailing it as the new Jesus. Okay, that's fine. I
I
think
always
it
find it
is.
weird though with Xbox games as well. You get these, especially like this Indiana Jones, obviously an amazing game, brilliant game. And I always found this a bit like with Forza Horizon 6 as well and 5 before it. Brilliant games. They get a build up to them. It's coming out. They get released. All your big, you know, critics and that play it, on YouTube, game ranks and all that play it, say brilliant game, really surprised me, great graphics, great story. 2 weeks later, no one's talking about it. It's gone. And I just find that weird, and that seems to happen a lot with Xbox games. That don't really seem fair because they're creating really good games. And I thought if they went multi-plat, that might get more talking point about the games, but it doesn't seem to
No, I
happen.
think
That's
it's a
really
shame.
weird.
I genuinely feel like people tell me I'm wrong, but I feel like that game's been a little bit buried. I feel like people didn't jump on it initially. I think Seb made a great point, and we need to get Seb back in. He's had enough. He's had enough holiday. Um, Indiana Jones is only going to get bought by your generation or older because you're the only people who give a rat's ass about it. He was right. I guess that's kind of what happened. Um, Indiana Jones as a franchise kind of got killed by the last two films, in my humble opinion. It kind of got trod in the dirt. I think it should have been left as it was. Last Crusade was the Last Crusade. Let's leave it there. Let's remember you as good as we can. Um, I've got a soft spot for Shia LaBeouf, so I don't mind Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it's already laughable at that point. And
Mm.
then, we get to this latest one, the time travel one, and it was like, spoilers by the way, but stick well clear of it. Just like, what a disaster. It felt like a made for TV indie movie. It wasn't great. And I felt that a shame. This game made me feel like Indiana Jones. Every beat,
Mm.
hit, and move. I said to OG when I rang him on the phone, as I'm playing, I'm desperate for a cutscene because I want to see more of that because it feels like I'm watching a movie. More of these characters interacting on screen because the chemistry feels great. I love like the expressions, the way they're holding themselves. It feels legit. It really does. Can't say enough about it. Sound design, mm, the crack of the whip. The way it echoes around like a gunshot going off. Fan freaking tastic. Sign me up. If that had been an exclusive, I probably would have looked at that very temptingly for the rest of my days.
Mm. Yeah, I'm very tempted with it. And there's something to be said about again having it on the Switch too and take it everywhere with you. AAA game on the go, big
It
budget.
feels crazy to be playing it on there. It feels like witchcraft.
Yeah, yeah. It's some of these ports they're doing are very good. It's a powerful handheld. Whereas a lot of handhelds at the time, people always thought, oh, if you play big games on handhelds, you've got the handheld PC. Hasn't anymore.
Mm.
Hasn't anymore. So
Their kind
yeah.
of mobile architecture was a freaking good idea for the Switch, but underpowered. But the Switch 2 just feels to be the right kind of subset
Mm,
to make it
mm.
work. As I
The
said,
right balance in it.
yeah, there were some compromises handheld, and yeah, maybe they wouldn't be there docked. I haven't looked. That's what Digital Foundry are for, guys. Go
Mm.
count some pixels.
And I mean,
I don't give a rat's ass.
I love Lenovo Legion, but the last thing I'd really want to be doing with that is sitting on a train holding a breeze block with a screen on.
Mm.
If I do travel, I do tend to use my Switch all the time because I love the Lenovo, but you are taking a PC with you. I want something with slender case in my backpack, easy. It's a big old thing. I do
It's
feel a bit
slick.
of
You could put the Switch 2 in your pocket without getting too carried away.
yeah, yeah. It's form factor does suit me that way. So yeah, I think it is. It's that such a good balance of having AAA games on the go. Very good indeed.
Mm. Okay,
Mm.
well, with all that said and done, call me Indiana Jones. Um, It's time for RGT's Hidden Gem. I promise you an all-out, no holds barred new production value. And I'm not lying to you. Compared to what we had before, this is unbelievable. RGT, you whinged. So like you don't honour me, you do this boon thing, it feels like you're taking the piss.
Did I say that? I don't.
You didn't say it, but your face suggested it.
Oh, oh God.
So I've procured a very talented songwriter to do you a new theme tune.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, and we've thrown a bit of money at a singer.
Have we?
Well, quite a lot of money. Yeah, quite a lot of the subs money has gone into paying the singer for
Well, I'm
this.
expecting high things for this then.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Um,
so this isn't you singing this then anymore.
oh, I don't want to get riled up in the legals of it, mate. You know, I
I'm
tried
just
to
saying
tick.
you're on video, so I'm just saying.
Well, like I say, the singer's been very handsomely rewarded, and the songwriter as well. He's
Hmm.
been well paid. We've got the copyright. Well,
I'll say, is that a new hat, shirt, and t-shirt you got on there, George? Looks,
um,
she's done quite well just lately. You done well at work, or hmm, that's I don't know. It's a bit of a coincidence. Strange, yeah. Hmm. Anyway, sorry, yeah, carry on. But
mm.
can't wait
So
to
I
hear the.
am singing it, and
Oh, oh,
I did write it. Yeah.
oh, that's why. Yeah, I did see the company accounts earlier at 0.15
Mm.
pence.
Did you
So
look at them this afternoon?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
What, just?
yeah.
All
Mm.
right, because it should actually say minus
Oh,
X,
oh, so
Y,
you've
Z.
oh, as
Yeah.
a, I didn't refresh it. So
No.
oh, so you've had oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
I
Okay, well,
know I know I made a habit of this, but
hmm.
I took out a fifth mortgage on your property.
Oh, cool, yeah, because yeah, four mortgages wasn't enough to pay. So no, that's fine. Yeah, that's all for the good of the show, as they say. And you say I should have to pay because I'm privileged to be here. So
Well, that's what I've been telling
hmm.
myself so I can sleep at night.
Yeah, why not?
But I'm making it
Last
up
thing
to
I'd want
you.
you to feel bad. So
Yeah, I've made it up to you by paying. I'm handsomely rewarding the singer and songwriter of this song for your hidden gem section.
AKA yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm expecting big things now. Now I've got a fifth mortgage to pay. So come on, let's have it. Oh, he's wetting the whistle. So
He's paying for his taste, so better not dismiss him. He's gonna be gamering you tonight. Da, la, 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 la. He's famed for his taste, so better not dismiss in haste. He's gonna be gamering you tonight. Hidden gems, gamering you tonight. Hidden gems.
mm, wow.
Mm.
Mm.
So more words than the
I could see, I could
previous one.
I could see where the money was spent.
An original piece. You've never heard anything like that before.
Yeah, about that. Mm,
No one would remember that anyway, so don't bring it up, please.
comments, please. Comment down below.
Don't. Legal. Um,
Bit late for that, fella.
uh, I don't
Anywho,
think that any algorithm's going to pull anything out of that from anything. It sounds nothing like, I'll be honest with you, I slaughtered it on purpose.
oh, on purpose. So I'm expecting next time a pure, properly recorded, add-in edited.
I think where maybe the Boone theme complemented my dulcet tones, I feel like whatever part of my brain this thing came from, because it's an original piece,
Mm.
I feel like
I was worried you're in pain for a little bit there.
your off-screen grimace probably
Mm,
didn't help with my. I probably should just. You should have just gone off camera while I performed. I think it would. I
yeah.
got a little bit of anxiety. I'll be honest with you, and it didn't stand up as I wanted it to as a piece of work.
Wow, it comes back on me. What a surprise. Oh, I do apologize. But beautiful work anyway,
Why do you make it
nonetheless.
me out to be some like? All right, yeah, you're right. The fifth mortgage was a step too far. Let's
Yeah.
play the guessing game. Let's make it happen.
Right. Developer and publisher are the same people.
Everyone needs 5 mortgages these days.
Out of the Bit Limited, and you've probably never heard of them. This is a 2023 game.
Oh, you're a belter. Okay.
Systems it is on: PS5, Xbox, Switch, Steam, and Evercade. Do you want to know the genre?
Did it come out
I
in
love saying that word,
2000?
genre.
Like when? What year did you say it came out? 2020.
2023.
It's an original piece.
It's an original piece, not a remake or anything. It is an original piece.
I'm not going to know what this is, am I?
It is like a survival platformer.
Oh, Little Child of Mine. No, War Child. No, what's it called? No, it's not that, is it? Okay, forget it. Move on.
I love when you have conversations with yourself. It's like you have a sort of split personality. War child of mine. No, it's not that. No, it's not that, is it? No, move on. Okay. Um,
I showed too much. Is it that?
no, it's not that. Single player game only. Do you want to know? I'll give you another hint. If
Will
you're
I know it?
if you remember the original Prince of Persia, if you remember Another World, if you remember Flashback, this game bases itself heavily on that play style and to some extent the graphics. I think this is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant little game that doesn't get enough credit, I don't think.
Right, pump it up then. What is it?
This game is a full void.
Yeah, I was never going to get that.
I've got, as you can see on screen, if you're watching this, I've got the Evercade version, but you can get it on all them other systems. This game is set in
That
like
same artwork on everything else.
I believe so, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Um, the game itself is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. The pixel art in this and the lighting they've done, it's like playing it on like a Super Amiga. It looks so good, absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of them games that's sort
What's
of
a
just
Super Amiga look like? I'm sorry, you can't just say that. Has it got a cape or does it just have bigger muscles?
it's got bigger muscles, definitely. It's got muscles like Ginge, the guns.
So it's an
Um,
A1200 with guns.
yeah, ripped. Every key's got a bicep. um, But this is like a dystopian future. You're
Mm.
playing as this teenager, and it doesn't tell you what's happening at the start. It's a bit like Another World and Flashback. You suddenly have to escape something as you're going through. There's puzzles to do as you go. You got your left to right. You go through like the cityscape and sewers and different places, and you have to climb up, and there'll be different ways. It's got that almost Abe's Odyssey about it with the single screens where you have to work out each little puzzle. Not as puzzle heavy as Abe's Odyssey, but very similar. Um, but it's got that lovely story that really takes me back to a time where you'd play these sort of games on your home computers or your PCs. And it, like I say, it looks gorgeous. It's got great little game mechanics. Like later on, you'll find a little like drone, and then you can program that drone on a screen to do what you want it to do on each screen. So you can set where you want it to fly and press enter and get that to code, which is a lovely little touch. It's not a massively long game, as far as I know. I think it's only probably 4 to 5 hours, maybe up to 6, 7 hours if you take your time to complete. But I just think that's another one that I only found out about because I use my Evercade and I'd seen a review online of this full void, and I thought, well, who's this? And then Googled it, looked at it, and thought, oh, hang on, this is like Flashback, Another World, got the nostalgia hit. I think I purchased it for £12. Thought I'd give it a go on my Evercade. Really good. Went on holiday, used it in my little um, Hyper Megatech, little Supercade handheld one. Played really well on there. Absolutely loved it. I mean, price
Question then
wise,
I've got for you because not
yes.
everyone's got an Evercade. Outside of that, where are people picking this up? Where's the best place to play it?
Like I say, if you go PS5, Xbox, places like that, I think at the moment on Steam, that's on sale for 3.99.
Oh,
Um, PS5, I think it's around about £11. It fluctuates. Switch, I think it's 12, £13, something like that. Um, like I say, if you buy it new on Evercade, it's about 15. I think I bought second hand for about 12. You might be able to pick it up for £8 to £10. And I think the Xbox is about the same as well. That's about £10, £11. I think it's a steal for that. I think if you're into your retro games, I think if you're into your pixel art, there's not many I've seen as good as this. I think I just love it. It gives me that, when they do a lot of pixel art city and you see the lighting and that, there's just something about that that sings to me. And this has it all, Full Void. I think it's not too difficult, but it's nice. Occasionally you'll drop too far and you think, why am I dropping too far? Then you have to work it. Oh, hang on, I can jump. So why don't I jump over, then go down? It's got all those little puzzles to get across to the next screen. And then there's different settings where you got the city, you got the sewers and blah, blah, blah. Definitely give it a go for that money. Really, really good. I hope they do another one. I hope they release it on Evercade as well. Out with the bit limited, really good. But yeah, Full Void. Give it a look.
Ooh, okay, nice one.
Oh, and I will add I am behind because I missed a few shows because we had Bobby and that on. So that was May's one. I've got June's ones lined up. I'm writing that at
Do
the
it.
moment.
He's famed
No,
for
whoa,
his
whoa, whoa,
taste,
whoa,
so
whoa,
better
whoa,
not
whoa,
dismiss
whoa,
in
whoa.
haste.
I haven't finished writing it yet, but it's lined up. And I will do that if I'm on next week. I will
Two-headed
do
snake.
June's one, and then I'll do the July one the week after, and we're back level again. Okay. So we'll have next 2 weeks. We've got another two hidden gems coming.
Is the next one a banger?
The next one is for some reason I've put it as a hidden gem because I really like it, but there's going to be people when I talk about it go, "What the hell are you on?" But wait and see. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one.
Wow. Okay.
Mm,
Well,
yeah, tune in for that.
let's find ourselves a little bit of news.
Mm-mm-mm.
What was that, mate?
I went, mm-mm-mm.
No, you did different face before.
That face. Mm-mm-mm.
Wow.
That's gonna be clipped.
Are you mogging me?
No, why would I be mocking you? I went, mm-mm-mm, because I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you
No,
made yourself all sexy, didn't you? You got yourself
not
all...
all of us pout, young George. Not all of us pout.
Oh, wow.
Mm. Anyway, go on. News. Boom, boom. Chop, chop.
It's just the way my lips rest after my new teeth. Right. Let's we scour the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, over on PushQuest, Stephen Tailby has been in some controversial bother this week. He's found himself on the wrong side of the butcher's market because he went in trying to sell some poached game that he had shot down in his local woodland area.
Oh no.
Mm. So he's had his collar felt by the local meat slaughtering community.
Mm. Wow. Wow. I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah, so when he's not wrapped up in that, he's a reporter for Push Square, and he's found this little gem for us. If you won't stand up, let's be grateful that the Brazil is taking on digital games ownership and preservation after Sony says no more discs. The rest, as they say, is politics. Let's get into Stephen's words. It appears Brazil is concerning itself with matters relating to consumer rights when it comes to digital games. Federal Deputy Yandira Fegali, forgive me, proposed a new bill directly inspired by the Stop Killing Games movement that aims to prevent online games from ceasing to exist when official support comes to an end. The bill stipulates that publishers must clearly inform customers about games' reliance on online servers at point of sale. Furthermore, they must also outline the minimum support period, which cannot be less than 2 years from a game's launch in Brazil. It also says publishers must inform consumers about any termination of service no less than 180 days in advance, notifying players that the game itself on official social channels and through other means. The bill suggests three options for what happens after a game online is shut down. The company can release an update to allow for offline play, provide tools to the community to keep it going themselves, or reimburse players proportionally based on how much time they spent with the game. Ouch. Failure to comply with these regulations will incur fines. There's a bit more to it, but shares a lot of common with the aforementioned Stop Killing Games initiative, which has been campaigning for the same thing in Europe. The bill still needs to make it through several layers of legislative process, so it's far from becoming law, but it's interesting to see this cropping up in global politics, especially in light of Sony's decision to discontinue the production of game discs in 2028. Speaking of which, Federal Deputy Erika Hilton has requested an investigation into Sony Interactive Entertainment and its plan for a purely digital landscape. In the document, she argues that it will restrict certain rights associated with physical game ownership, such as reselling, lending to friends, and preservation. She also says the move does not consider areas of the world, including parts of Brazil, that are currently not equipped with high-tech internet, high-speed internet access, and that rely on physical stores and second-hand market to purchase games. Hilton suggests Sony's plans may contravene several articles within Brazil's Consumer Protection Code and has asked this to be investigated by Senecom, the government's governmental consumer rights group. It's still early days on all this, and all things considered, it's moving pretty slowly in politics, but it'll be interesting to see whether this amounts to anything. PlayStation is currently in everyone's bad books, with any social media posts dogpiled by angry fans protesting the eradication of physical games. RGT,
Mm,
it seems like countries, for some reason, are trying to stop this happening. I feel like they aren't. I think they're just facilitating the consumers' rights when this happens. Um, and that really doesn't amount to a great deal. By the time you've owned a game for a certain period of time, when they shut off access to it, you'll probably be owed maybe a penny, but that whole time that amount has been accruing in their bank account with interest. That doesn't really work for me, nor in some ways, may I say, in digital future's defense, doesn't really work for them either, does it? I think they're moving to this digital ecosystem because it kind of works in the moment, but they're not really bothered about how it holds up in a couple of years. RGT, what do you make of all this consumer protection jargon that's going on in Brazil? Do we stand to hope that this might happen here, or are we just going to get dogpiled and charged probably double?
the latter, I would imagine. Um, I think there's a lot of this going on since Sony announced it because we've always had digital and physical, and now countries with different laws. Suddenly, everyone's gone, well, hold on, how does this work law-wise? How does this? You're buying a game, but you're not buying a game. You're licensing a game, you're renting it, but you're not buying it, but you are buying it. Do you own it? And if they take it down, can you still get your money? It is a minefield. It is an absolute minefield. Nice. I think I was watching I think it was on YouTube or Gaming News I saw the other day, and they were saying about apparently there's 500,000 so far quit their PS Plus subscription. But apparently there's rumored to be 50 million on there, so it's 1%, so it's hardly made a dent. And this reporter basically said you could quit that, you can go and buy a Switch, you can do what you want. That ain't gonna make them budge at all because it's hardly even affecting them. That's not even touching it. So I'm just wondering whether in the long term, rather than these legislations, if what they think they're going to gain from this digital future, if by the time this kicks in 2028, they've halved their audience, was it worth that in the first place? That's the only thing I can think of. But will they halve the audience? That's the thing.
I
And
guess the audience that they've halved and or are damaging are probably the PlayStation hardcore who've took like personal premium offense to this.
mm,
I saw again, Push Square is probably not the best place to ask people their opinion on the future of digital gaming, but it's half the people who were asked are getting a PC and dropping PlayStation like a hot stone. I think another 15% were seriously considering it, and the rest had thought about it and then decided against it. If that's the 1%, that's already split down the middle. If that's a full rotational circle of PlayStation users on Pushware, and I very much doubt that it would be, it doesn't look good. That 1% are probably the vocal community that have immediately just pressed quit while sitting crying over their Aloy statue. Um, I'll be honest, the situation is a bit weird, but it affects us all. We talked about it last week with Two and a Half Gamers. I've had a little bit of time to acquiesce on it. I'm guilty. I've bought digital games. I'm that asshole. I've bought more digital games this gen than I ever have. Partly I had a Pro and I couldn't get a disk drive for a while. One wonders now if that benefited them in some way. I guess
Mm.
it kind of did. Kind of showed people were willing to stomach it for a while. Either which way, now I've got the disk drive. Do I use it? Rarely. Um, yeah.
I
I've
mean,
not.
me, I've been thinking about it, and I keep thinking it's a strange time to announce it. It was a very, very, very weird way of announcing it. Three lines in a tweet. This is what's happening, and then just move on, and then not say nothing for a week, and then
Well, I thought that.
rather than a big explanation about, after our history of when we first brought our games console in '90, blah blah blah. You thought there'd have been a bit of an just saying, oh, by the way, from 2028 with digital only, and then that is it. And you're like, well, hold on, have a bit more respect for your consumer
Well, it
base than that.
goes another step because then they also announced within that same. I guess they knew they were going to get grief either way, right? And they bundled in closing the PS3 and Vita stores in that same thing, and it
Mm,
barely got a mention, right?
mm.
Although it does kind of, for me, unlock the end. It does unlock the end game of that because yeah, the PS3 and Vita are old, but we're about to lose the stores. So, yes, they're going to let you download games you own, but that's going to be clunky and messy. If it's not clunky and messy already, it'll be even more clunky and messy by the time you get to a broken store that doesn't function properly. And there's a download page
But
buried somewhere in the ecosystem somewhere. That's garbage. And they haven't yet come clean on how that's going to look. So,
it's a double-edged sword because they're saying on one hand we're going all digital, on the other hand shutting down a digital store. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
When the PS8 is coming out, sorry, your PS6 is being shut down. That's all gone. You know,
exactly that.
so they're just saying no, this is the future, but this future's bad because we can do this. And I still think this is because of the demise of Xbox. I think Sony have got it in their head now. We can do whatever we want. We're going to announce this. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We've got over 100 million users. We've got hardly any competition. You got Nintendo. They're not part of the console wars, so to speak.
Well, I see Xbox are reassessing whether the disk drive is needed for the Helix or not, just to try, it's
Yeah,
will they get there? I very much doubt it. Let's face it. I mean,
they've been
they've been
campaigning digital for years. So
yeah, they've been more mature in the digital landscape, and therefore the loss of a disk drive, especially after the Series X and S, where the footfall on Amazon or the shop front really anywhere has been minimal for physical. It's hard to get an
well, yeah,
Xbox game.
S is digital anyway, isn't it? So
But the X, you
yeah,
don't find them. You find an Xbox One game dressed up in drag as an Xbox Series X game, pretending to be something else. It's a
yeah,
freaking joke.
yeah.
In a way, I do see that. We talked about this last week. I do see that being like the beginning, the end for like genuine discovery of the PlayStation brand.
Mm.
Because if you don't go into town to buy a game or even the console, how do people know about it?
But it's very hard to browse online unless you know what you're looking for. When you're in a shop, you can just browse, and I've always said that. And people say, oh, yeah, just put in PS5 games. Yeah, but they'll only show you the games they want to sell you. They're not going to show you all these hidden gems and small indie titles. They'll just show you,
Yeah.
it's hard to look online
The
unless you go,
magazines are gone, so there's
yeah,
no walking in the news agents. What's that? Pick it
mm,
up. Wow, what is all this? That's dead. So
mm,
discovery of the brand is going to be through the school playground for a while, but then when it's not an aspirational thing for a kid to want, what then?
mm. I know it's mad. And, going back to this legislation, this is again something where this reminds me of when the loot boxes all started kicking off. Different countries had different rules. Australia banning FIFA from doing the loot boxes because it was underage gambling, which in my mind it is. It is gambling. You're paying for an unknown outcome, which is gambling.
Yeah.
So and this is the same. There's going to be different countries, different legislations, and as like in Brazil, you know, there's going to be countries that are more consumer based as well, and they're going to look at this and just think, oh, hold on, this is anti-consumerism, really, because you're paying probably more for a digital copy of a game that you can take away at any point. So do you
But I
need to?
think that becomes a mute point when the person who makes the console says, no, our next console's not going to have a disk drive. So they can't make them have one. We can't
Oh,
make them
I see
put
what you
one
mean.
in.
Yeah. So
They
you can.
decide what PlayStation looks like.
Well, yeah. I suppose though the only thing you've got to decide is how that game is sold in the wording of it. That needs to be very clear that if you're paying $80 for a game, you are leasing it. This game could disappear at any time.
Oh, I definitely think the store needs rebranding as PlayStation Rentals.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, without
Like, don't
without
take
the
the piss unless I can buy a t-shirt here. This is
uh,
PlayStation Rentals all day freaking long at this
uh,
rate. And
play
my digital
flicks.
library has all got a ticking time bomb on it.
Mm,
So you crack on, pal.
mm.
I mean, were we so dumb as to think that it wouldn't? I hope not.
Oh no, no, no.
That's why I've never really wanted to ever like chuck down too much money on the store because I've always felt a bit fragile by it. That's why I've always bought, not only because it's in my DNA, because of the era that I grew up in. I've always bought physical because I like to look at it.
Yeah, you're right. Same with me. I mean, we've got a joint love for that. But the thing is, the thing with consoles was you played consoles because you had the physical option. And PC was a big jump, but you sort of went digital when you went to PC. Yes, you had the big boy graphics and the big graphics cards, and all the lights and all the big build of your PC, but that was the separation from it. Now you're just literally selling us a mini PC in a box. It takes away that love of having a console. Do you think the PS6 is going to be classed as a console? They'll call it a console, but it ain't going to be one. It's just going
No,
to
of
be
course no.
that's going to be PlayStation's version of Steam, which will be the new PS Plus, and it's just download your games. To me, I know I'm old, and people listen to this be thinking, "What the hell are you on about? We've been doing this for ages." Yes, we have, but you take that option away, and like I said on the stats on last week's show, 82% of all PS5 sold in America had disc drives on. Why were you giving us the choice of a disc drive? You're now going to
For
take
the
that
backwards
away.
compatibility, but now they've stitched themselves in the corner. If PS6 is natively backwards compatible with 5 and 4, and some would argue that would make sense, and technically it's totally doable, um, that starts to look a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because
it
then,
does.
okay, so I've got that game on PS4 and it's backwards compatible. I know it is because if I go on the store on there, I can download it and play it. But I have to buy it again, even though I bought that, and for argument's sake, at full retail from PlayStation.com.
Hmm.
Physical copy
Hmm.
sent to me in the post by the devils themselves.
Yeah, and it's also going to be that thing when the PS6 is out, you're going to come out with half a dozen games which are half-assed and not great. So, what we do, I'll keep playing my PS5 games on it. Oh no, I can't put the disc in. It- you know, what do you do?
Will
Are they
it be
going to
you
let
can
you?
use the PlayStation app to scan the back of the barcode and then, but you will then have to show proof of purchase?
No, I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll just go whole hog saying, "These are the games you've played before. Do you want to play them again? Oh, $15. If you
Wow.
want that, $20." I don't think there'll be any of that on there. I think from the statements they've been
And
saying.
then you pick them up on that digital library, so you've got your full library replicated on the PS6 so you can play it, and then there's a ticking time bomb on those.
Hmm, yeah, yeah, I
And
don't
then,
know.
unless as a business they support their ecosystem from PS4 until the very death of their
Hmm.
gaming division, there's
Wh-
nothing that they can't do anything else.
Well, when they also announced that they're not subsidizing consoles anymore, so you're looking 12 to $1,500 for a PS6. I mean, the slogan for the players is wearing a bit thin now. It's not. It's for the profit.
It
£1,200 for a
always
digital
was.
box. Oh, it always was, but you had a bit more consumerism based in it. You had your physical
I
games. There was the
suppose it's like the old saying, at least Dick Turpin did you the decency of wearing a mask.
mm,
At least when they say for the players and they give you free PS Plus as they did in the PS3 era and this, that, and the other, for the players, kind of was half acceptable.
It was, and also, like I say, they were subsidised. When the PS5 was made, it was over £1,000 in parts. We were getting it for 450, $500, but they're not doing that anymore. And you suddenly think, well, why would you not do that? Because do they really think the 100 million gamers are going
They
to jump over for
subsidized the
that?
consoles and did at the launch. They've made in their own very vocal way more money this gen than they've made than all the gens added together.
Yeah.
You don't want to put any of that in the pot, guys. You just want to pay it all to your freaking shareholders. It's the same for every business from the ground up, from
Yeah.
North Pole to the South Pole and all the way around. They're all into it now, dollar and diming. And sadly, I don't think time's on their side.
No, I
But options are limited. So you make the bed with the devil of your choosing, I think.
yeah, and I think if this decision stays as it is, I did think there would be a bit of a reversey on that because they have done before. But if this stays as it is, um, PlayStation isn't going to be nowhere near the brand they have been for the last 20 years. I
I don't know,
think
mate.
I don't.
By the time GTA 6 rolls in and out, we've all bought that digital. Like I said, it was the Trojan horse. We accepted that.
Have we accepted it though? Are you buying it?
Of course I'll freaking buy it.
I don't even know if I'm going to yet.
Well, that's on you.
I might well do, but
It
it's.
might be the last GTA I ever buy. I'll give it that.
Mm,
I will give you that.
I think I'll see reviews on that before because I'm not convinced that this is going to be the banger game it is yet. You might pull me back on that. I might be wrong. This might be absolutely incredible, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I
Okay.
really, but
PlayStation have absolutely fumbled it. Tell me what's going on at Team Green. And as you can see, the counters just, I've binned it because she had a good run, Asher. She did, bless her. And I'm sure the seeds of Xbox future are within her grasp now. She's certainly reset the clock. But my God, girl, it's like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, isn't it? She's like, oh, it's all right, Asher will be all right. Don't you worry about that. She said she's going to sort us out. She's fixed the dashboard for God's sake. Little did we know she'd just run a better dagger through the belly of 1,000
yeah,
studios.
just laid off half the developers in America
Yeah, but there is
for the
some good
greater good.
news.
Um,
There is a seed of good news apparently in some way, although I don't quite know how they're delivering it in such a ham-fisted way, RGT. But give us the chapter and verse from Team Green.
well, this is over on Pure Xbox as always with Fraser Gilbert, who's taken up a new hobby this week. Hmm. Yeah, Fraser's got into restoring vintage bicycles. So he's been sort of buying up rally choppers, rally strikers, rally burners, if you remember them, if you're a man of my age, respraying them. I mean, they're all green.
I knew a guy called Ben Deacon. He was a bike dealer.
Hmm.
Have you ever met him before?
No.
He's a great bloke.
Mm.
He looks like a Greek god.
Oh, wow. Bit like me.
Yeah, and he's covered himself in tattoos, like Dumbledore, maybe his mum, that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
He just reminded me that
Oh,
he's a
right. Yeah.
person.
But anyway, Fraser's into that now. So, like I say, they are all green, but they're looking very good. So he's done a lovely job on a rally striker. I still love my rally striker. So well done, Fraser. Lovely hobby to get into. Um, This is Xbox sends out brief statement regarding inaccurate ID tech reports. They say dozens of people are still working on the engine. With the Xbox layoffs dominating the headlines this week, it's no surprise that we've been seeing countless stories, rumors, reports, and speculation about the state of Xbox's game studios ahead of the second half of 2026. Doom, the Dark Ages developer, id Software is one company that's been in the news a lot, with reports suggesting that the studio has been cut in half as a result of said layoffs. However, there has also been rumors claiming that just one person has left working on id Tech, and Xbox has actually stepped in to address this. Simply put, Xbox says that id Tech has dozens of people working on it right now, and they spread across multiple locations. Here's a look at the statement that was sent to Kotaku and Windows Central. There are dozens of people working on id Tech across multiple locations, and there's only one person left in Texas. Are inaccurate. If you're questioning what id Tech even is, don't worry. It's not immediately obvious. This is the term for the game engine, and that was designed by id Software technically back in the 90s, then known as the Quake engine. And it's received many different iterations since then, most recently being used for the likes of Doom, the Dark Ages, and Indiana Jones, the Great Circle. There has been some concern that Microsoft might encourage id Software to ditch id Tech and transition to Unreal Engine instead. But the new statement suggests that this might not be the case, at least for the time being. That said, Kotaku's report highlights the devastating scale of the cuts at the studio, along with a source that feared id Tech as a technology is probably dead forever. The team in charge of id Tech said to have been let go this week. There's a belief that Machine Games is already using a branch of it for Wolfenstein 3, however. Meanwhile, Windows Central's Jez Corden says that according to his sources, Microsoft doesn't have any plans to push id Software or Machine Games over to Unreal Engine right now, and he believes it would be miserably short-sighted and irresponsible to do so. Um, handling even more power to Unreal Engine opens them up to price increases down the line, which would be fiscal irresponsible. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma herself said in a memo to staff that she wants Microsoft to rely less on vendors for things like this. As such, I would argue that Microsoft should invest more in id Tech, not less. Whatever the case may be for the future, Xbox clearly wanted to step in and address that id Tech is being used by dozens of people right now, and it remains to be seen where it goes from here. Hmm. It's it's a statement where you sort of think it seems okay, but it's okay, but there's dozens of people, but what's dozens of people? Was there,
Well,
it's
there's a cleaner, security guard, that
cool.
one person working on the tech engine, probably someone in HR. Doesn't take long before you've got a group of people there, does it? And technically, they're all working on it.
Hmm.
They're all contributing towards it. I think that maybe those reports seem a little overblown to me. Um, but the more important news to me is that they've got this scalable engine that looks fantastic and can work on Switch 2 to PS5 Pro and everything in between. Um, yes, it seems to be first person predominantly, but we've seen in indie it can flip to a third person. It is capable. Why aren't they using all this? Like, I know Unreal's a standard and it's probably powering every one of their exclusives other than Indiana Jones and whatever else that the others are working on. But you got to feel like they're right there. They've got within themselves as a group the ability to have all this and more. They don't need to
Yeah.
buy Epic. They just need to sit a couple of people down with a laptop for an afternoon. That's what this is. Why isn't every game they're making based on this engine or a variant of? Is it because it's not easy to use? Is it because it's everyone in the industry's done more time on Unreal Engine because it's been the industry standard? I don't know, but I think they need to investigate it. Even Sony have half bothered with the Decima engine, which ended up running on multiple systems in the end, and I'm sure it'll end up running on Switch 2 by the time Hideo's finished with Death Stranding. I guarantee you'll see that there.
Hmm.
So if it's scaled up across all those platforms and look, we've seen Death Stranding running on an iPhone, so it can scale to mobile architecture as well. It's totally possible. So yeah, that'll come Switch. Um, so why wouldn't they double down on something like that, where they can maybe bring it in-house, maybe keep it a little bit more private, maybe make it a little bit more bespoke? I mean, Indiana Jones looks great, and Wolfenstein, Doom, all those sorts of things that run on mid-tech software look great. Yeah, they've got a first-person kind of slant, but like I said, Indy showed that's doesn't have to be a thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I think, you know, these guys that they work wonders. The Doom games are fantastic. They run well, they look decent.
They've always pushed the envelope.
Yeah.
Like Doom 3 when it launched looked incredible.
So if they've mastered this engine, don't take it away. Let them just keep mastering it. They're making fantastic games on it. They know how this system works. It's awesome for first person things. Look at, you're witness to that with Indiana Jones.
Mm.
So why would you want to push them over to Unreal? And there's been a lot of problems with Unreal as well. It's not gone as smooth as what you think with Unreal. So
Well,
I'd be,
they're already nearly done with 5.
yeah,
And
you
it's
know,
like, hang on a minute, barely any games got made on that platform in the end.
And a lot of people did struggle with it as well. It was
Yeah.
a lot of devs really struggled with it. There was problems with it. So if these guys are using this engine and they're using it really well and making great games, leave them to it. Just leave them to it. You don't need to, you know, I, again, you get people meddling when they shouldn't be meddling. These guys know what they're doing. They've got a great engine. They make great games. Leave them to get on with it.
Well, make more with that stuff, I would argue.
Exactly. And especially let them make more with it as well, because invest in it, make the studio bigger, get some games on. They can make some fantastic games. And share the engine as well. People are using that engine. You can get other people using it as well. For instance, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I find it crazy. Don't try and fix what it broke. Invest in it. If it's that
Yes.
good, invest in it.
Agreed. Well, that probably draws a line under it.
Mm.
Do you want to do a bit of housekeeping, RGT? Grab a mop and bucket, it's time.
Yes, we do a bit of housekeeping. So, if you're watching us now, hello on YouTube. Don't forget to sub, like, comment. Let us know what do you think about the its system and the devs and their software. And do you think it should be changed over Unreal? Same with our other stories. What did you think? What do you think about Sony and these digital rumors and how it's going to affect different countries' laws? Let us know what you think down below. If you're listening to us on your podcast provider, you can message us in on there if you want. Let us know. Or you can message us questions at unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. We've also got our Discord. You can jump on there, come and say hi to the guys on there. Great little Discord, plenty of things going on, challenges and that. I know we say all the time, you know what we've got going on there. Come and have a look over there. We've got our website as well, unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. Jump on there. We've got Captain's been doing reviews and bits and pieces. I think we've got 3. There should be 2 more reviews being added shortly on there as well. So that's filling up, but there's loads on there from our challenge accepted winners to various events we've been to let's say game reviews, the shows. You can get links to them. Jump on there. Instagram, you can jump on Unofficial Controller Podcast Instagram or mine, which is Retro Gamer Thomas Instagram. There's links on there for the Discord and bits and pieces. We're also on X. Have I missed anything out? I'm trying to
Subscribe
think.
on YouTube. You got
Yes.
one job. If you're watching and you've got this far, we can't be that bad, can we? You haven't sicked in your mouth or anything. So hit subscribe. If you've never had a call to arms like that before, welcome to the channel. Hit
Mm.
subscribe. Other than that, come join the team. Let's. Some people have joined the team. They've supported us, RGT, financially on a monthly basis. These legends get their name read out on the show from as little as $3 every month, and you can too. Um,
Do you want to start? Should I start? Or I was worried you dozed off then.
no, I was just trying to work it. You start.
You want me to start? Well, we'll start with the wonderful GazCon.
Mm,
Um, One of the very voices in the Discord, chats every day from very knowledgeable. And
very
he's
knowledgeable.
and I do enjoy clicking on there when I finish work and seeing what he's been talking about. Like 1 minute he's talking about PS1 games he's been buying. The next minute today he was talking about how much money he's saved by having a Super Nintendo Mini that's been hacked with all the games on, so he can play a little more
Mm.
expensive games. Oh, he's a fascinating
He's
guy.
quite
So,
an enigma, isn't he? He's an
oh,
interesting
he
chap.
knows his stuff, that guy. So yeah,
Yes,
and we've had the pleasure of meeting him as well, and he's
we
fantastic.
have.
So
A
as always,
luxury.
Gazcon, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Gascon.
Who we got next, big boy?
Um, I got lost in your words there. I kind of fell
I
in
know
love with
you
you. I don't,
you were
I don't
just
know.
staring right through me then. That was
Yeah, I
just
don't know
like,
what happened. You were just being. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Up next, Captain Scarlet. He's our man behind the curtain. He's there like the Wizard of Oz, pulling our strings and levers,
mm,
making smoke come out of the area, and that smoke coming out of his area is basically TikToks, and he floods the sky with them. Basically, he's on like a psyop for the show. He's just subconsciously embedded in people's feeds. He's getting in people's hair. He's getting in people's food. He's getting in people's teeth. He's getting, I tell you where he's embedded himself everywhere. And that's for the good of the show. You turn around, you download a new social media thing, bam, UCP pops up. He's there. Boom, makes it happen. Anything creative, he does it all. He's a bit of a, I would say, just like our kind of tech guru. He's like the lawnmower man. He's become at one with the show's internet.
Do you know what I mean? I think his nickname should be Skynet because
Captain Skynet.
he's almost taken over to the extent that you don't even have to ask him. He's made a clip of this show before we've done the show. He's that
Captain
on the ball.
Skynet, get your name changed. Let's see it
Yeah,
happen.
he's Skynet. He's yeah. I feel like we're being controlled from an outside force here,
Okay, right.
but he's a good control, by the way. I don't mean that in a horrible way, like
Like
Skynet.
puppets on a string.
Yeah.
Uh, hey, we're like, oh, that's why he called himself Captain Scarlet. It was reverse Uno. He's actually Jerry Anderson.
Oh,
We're Captain Scarlets.
so
Like
is all this
puppets on a
real, or
string.
is this like the Matrix?
I paid for this as well. That's why it's good.
Yeah, the copyrights are going to kill us. Um, Next up, we have a man who's very proud of his flashback T-shirt, and I tell you what, my God, does he look hot in it?
How many days solid has he worn it without taking it off? I think that's the new challenge for
I,
Retrohead.
I think it's 16 now. He even showers in it.
No, he can't. No, he's not allowed to shower in it. Send him another t-shirt, reset the clock. Jesus Christ, we're dealing with
Why not?
amateurs.
Yeah, but he's got personal hygiene. I mean, he's a very
That's to
clean,
go in the
very
bin for a
good-looking
world
guy.
record. He can't wash.
Oh, I didn't. That's my fault. I told him he could wash. We'll have to cancel Norris McWhirter now. I
You better
thought he.
cancel him hard because the sucker's dead, so he's going to come up from a long way. He's not going to come up smelling nice. And he might have
Oh,
been burnt, so how he appears in front of you, I do not know.
ooh, yeah.
It'd be like CGI from the Mummy. It'd just appear like sand right in front of you, all these clipboard.
Ooh, that
You
cuts deep.
you pay a lot of money for that.
Mm.
So
Anyway, retro
just
Ed.
cancel Norris. Oh, just get him gone.
Yeah, well, we'll send you a new T-shirt and we expect the world record. So sorry, I didn't realise you couldn't actually use personal hygiene. But thank you, retro Ed, as always. We got next, George.
I'm very grateful to just jump upon the oasis, the calm island in the sea of weird shit that I say, and it's Carlos, the one man George fan club. He's. I hope he's laughing. If not, he's ready to leap to my defence and say, "Do you know what? It might have been a bit off kilter, but he meant no one any harm. Sorry to the McWhirter estate, you know, sort of thing."
Well said. Well
Thank you,
said.
Carlos. I love you.
Yeah. Next up, we have that's the slogan that needs to be a T-shirt. It's from Tramp to Trump in a week.
Make
That's
it
the
happen.
man for all your financial advisories. This is the guy you need, especially in a very tough climate.
Do you think we should get a bit of merch done where it's like a UCP t-shirt, but it's done a bit like Better Call Saul, but it's actually firm returns and actually has proper details on Twitter? Like
I
it said on the back of saying lawyer up, it says like, I don't know, Trump to Trump up.
I think probably Captain's already made that before we've even said that. I think it's
He
done.
made you before you even knew it.
Oh, that's a conversation.
He arranged the coming together of your parents at that exact moment that would replicate you. You were not far off the mark with Captain Skynet.
Mm. Anyway, sorry, a bit off kilter. Thanks, firm returns as always.
Up next, Corner House in New York. If you want the finest coffee and wings at the world, coffee wings they do now, and coffee and wings. So you get a coffee wing. That sounds weird, even though it shouldn't be. A coffee wing. So you get a chicken flavored coffee and a coffee flavored chicken.
It's going to attack the world by storm.
Yeah, I
Thank,
see it. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think it'll be long before we're sort of thanking another business for their sponsorship. I can't imagine that's going to catch on, but you never know. Who's next?
we have the Dreamcast collector going for a full set. The man,
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. It's Rose Space Mock.
Hold on, roast base man. I can't
Yeah.
even do it. Sound like flipping rave on. Uh,
Scream if you want to go faster. Shabba. Yes, thanks. No Space Monk, as always. Legend. Uh,
Dreamcast if you want to go faster. Little GD ROMs like
Yeah.
Dreamcast Wurlitzer that's powered by this massive churning, groaning thing. It's like, and you get pulled around all over it sporadically to replicate what it feels like to be a GD-ROM disc. How's
When we
that
become
feel?
millionaires, I'm gonna have one of them made. Have it in my garden.
Your bloody, what's it called? Uh,
I'm gonna get Rave on as well to be in the middle on the thing, just shouting out that out.
your,
Dreamcast, if you want to go faster,
oh
Shabba.
mate, this is your version of the Neverland Ranch when you've made it big.
I weren't gonna go down that route, but who we got next?
Somewhere in Suffolk, got a horse paddock and a caravan, then a load of garbage in the backyard.
The Never Leave Ranch.
There ain't no doubt what this place is about.
Anyway, who we got
Get that
next?
on the t-shirt.
No, no, we're not having a, no, we're not having a
The
tea of
Never
that.
Leave Ranch, RGT, AI, with a load of like fake rides behind him.
Do
And then underneath, there's no doubt about what that's about.
the guys in Discord don't do that. That's gonna happen now. I said
Oh,
that.
yes. He's begging for it.
Oh,
Um, ah, ciao, bada bingster. Come stai?
mm.
Bene, bene.
Was
Stammi
that?
bene.
Oh, I thought you'd finished. Thank you, Better Bingster.
Thank you, bada bingster.
Next up, we have the man who'll be very proud of me for playing Xenoblade Chronicles, the JRPG connoisseur himself, and he has played Xenoblade Chronicles himself and has recommended it to me before when I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I know you'll be proud of me, and thank you very much, Tingle Tuner. Great recommendation.
Which means I get to thank Digital Monkery. I tell you what, he's not well. So let me get this way round so I can. He's laying on his pillow on his bed. No doubt he's watching me like this. I myself up. Hey up. That's not working. You have to turn your telly on its arse.
That yeah, that looked like something else then. So
Right. Okay. It's not a laughing matter.
no,
So I wish him well. I hope he's getting better. I hope he's feeling good. He sent me a picture of some slippers um, with his face on. So obviously, after our comment last week about us deeply inhaling on slippers and how I wish he was a slipper, I don't know if I said that out loud, but I think he stuck from that. And he sent me a little AI picture of his face on a pair of slippers. So
bless his heart.
yeah, I'm all in on a set of those. Yeah, I can't imagine the sort of thing when you see it on AliExpress. It looks like that, and you think, oh, that's great. It turns up and it looks nothing like that. I also want that to be a thing. So yeah, send me a, and they've got to be like polyester as sick, so they smell like 4-year-old rotten trainers after about 1 hour of wearing them. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Get some new slips for Christmas. You're like, oh, this is nice. Gonna bed in. By 1800 hours, these things absolutely stink like a camel's arsehole. My
Smells
Jesus
like
Christ.
Roquefort.
It does. Like, hang on,
Get
these
out.
were brand new.
Do you know the worst thing is though when you have them as well? You walk around the house, keep going, this house stinks. What is that smell? I just can't get away from it. You're in the kitchen, you're in the living room, and then after a little while, it dawns on you. No, that's your slippers. You're actually
Yeah,
taking that
but
smell with
even
you.
then, knowing what you know, now I know I outed the flannel suckers, right? I'm a flannel sucker.
Oh, I did.
This,
I'd forgot I even was a flannel sucker until you said it, and I suddenly remembered back to bath time. And thought I sucked the hell out of them flannels.
hey, look, the only thing that people don't know about flannel sucking is that they forgot that they flannel sucked. Every single one of you flannel suckers is a flannel sucker, and I'm telling you that now straight as a stand as a man. You are. Okay, you just didn't remember whether you did. All right? It's a basic fact of life. You sucked hard on flannel at bath time. You just forgot it. Okay. Ginge texted back in the day when we outed this, and he was like, yeah, I did. I sucked flannel. I'm like,
I'm a- I,
everyone sucked flannel.
I'm
And his
actually
kids sucked flannel, and my kids sucked flannel.
I'm actually thinking about taking it back up.
Have you ever tried it as an adult? I have. I'm not even ashamed of it. And I tell you what, it's a weird sensation, but it's actually pretty nice. But then when you reflect then on what you're sucking on as an adult, it's a bit like, ooh, yeah, this hits different. This is more than I needed it to be.
If you've just joined in, maybe go back to the start.
But more to the point, we're all slipper sniffers.
Mm.
We are all snipper slippers.
What?
Slipper
Sliff?
sniffers. No, slipper sniffer.
Snipper slippers? Snipper
Get
slippers.
me a Punko Pomp, mate. Get me a Punko Pomp right now. I tell you, that is beautiful. Yeah, we're all slippers. Hmm.
Anyway, get well soon, Digital Monkery. That went off on a tangent. Next up, we have the Floss 360, the
Oh yeah.
Suffolk, Tony Hawk himself, bald border. Thank you very much, my man. And we're still debating whether to put the actual evidence of the Floss 360 onto Discord, but we need to get some editing and blurring done because there might be a little bald border in the pic. So we need to get that censored to make it okay across the board, I believe. So,
All right.
yeah. But well, you've
Okay.
seen it. You've got it on your phone. You've seen it. We may have to.
The only thing that was visible was the flesh trench. I don't know. That's not full frontal or anything. So if that's the picture you want to release, it's totally kosher. Just don't zoom in.
Mm, yeah. I might have to get a video of him doing it because the still is him just landing it. We might need to get a clip we can put on Discord of him doing the full floss 360
Inverted.
inverted. Mm.
That's big time.
Leave it with me. But yes, thanks, Ball Border.
Okay, up next, I tell you what, he's out and about. He's our boba. He rang
Mm.
me. He said to me, "Do you know what? I'm into swinging now." I was like, "Hey, up, fella, you're into what?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm out. I've got the tent box out." And I thought, "Oh, where's this going?" He said, "No, we're out camping. I'm loving it, but we're right next to a playing field." I walked in there, and they had like pulling up bars. I was swinging on them. I got down on the swings. He swung on them. He said, he told me that the actual swing, not the tire swing, the one that you just sit on. This is like the grown-up one. Well, anything, the square seat that you get in, that if a grown-up got in, it gets stuck in. It's not that. It's the flat board with the swing on it. He said to me, he did 15-minute burst on there, chin-ups, swinging chin-ups, another 15-minute round on the swings. He said it is one hell of an ab workout. So I said, well, look at you. You're the king of the swingers, a jungle gym VIP. You've reached the top. Your physique's tip top. That's what's bothering me. Oh, hoo. I want to be like you, hoo. I want to walk like you. I want to talk like you. Boba, Loba.
I'll
We
tell you
love
what,
you. Thanks for your
the
donation.
copyright strikes are coming in thick and fast this week.
Did
Yeah.
you like that?
Amazing. Yes, he's part of the tent box community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, brother.
Are
We're,
you
we're...
do you think you might take swinging up now? You've got 10 bucks.
I've been saying to the missus for ages to take it up, but it's just at the right time, I think, because I've got to be careful of my back.
Would you
That's
do
what I mean.
swinging pull-ups or would you
I'd start easy, I think. I'll probably just
sit
do,
Dons down in the little child seat so she didn't run off and then you could
yeah,
probably
just
do a
do a
15-minute
couple of
ab
swings and
workout?
then just go full swinging once I've built up a bit, got my confidence up, and then just go full swinging.
Would you mind if while Dons was swinging, like, someone came along, got involved, give her a
No,
push?
not at all. It adds to the fun.
Wow,
Mm.
nice.
While I'm doing the pull-ups, she can quite happily swing away.
Yeah, I see how that would work.
Mm.
Yeah. Bloody
Mm.
absolutely brilliant. Some of that physical like training stuff they've got in like parks now, like the bikes and
Mm.
yeah, you got to love it.
Yeah,
Uh,
why not? Um,
everyone remembers a good old bike down at the park.
exactly.
What's Oh, crikey. Well, you get the luxuries next.
Well, one man he doesn't need to take up swinging or do
Mm.
pull-ups at all is the very finely ripped Ginge,
I
your
did a
red-headed stepson.
I did a cursory glance right across the Discord, and
I
there's a
know what you're going
picture
to
of
say.
him in some merch with his guns out. And I'll be honest with you,
Jeez,
his two guns are so big.
that size my head.
I'll be honest with you. If you zoom in on them, they've got that much vein on them. If you put your finger on one side of his sleeve and then on the other side, mate, my God, I bet he's like that downstairs.
Anyway, thanks, Ginge.
It looked like it was taken in his lounge, from what I could tell.
Yeah, but you're one of them weirdos that whenever anyone sends you a picture, I try and crop it in now because you go all in the background and work out the layout.
Look,
Oh,
that was one of the best segments of this
yeah.
show ever.
Someone would send in their Stingray's boot stuff they've picked up. Oh no, you wouldn't even see the game. You'd be in the background saying, "Why have you only got one slipper on? Why is there a half-eaten cheese biscuit on
What
the side
time
there?"
is it on the cooker today?
Yeah, yeah. You'd know everything. You might want to dust that shelf behind you in the background. You zooming in, looking like an old selfie perv. Anyway, thanks, Ginge. Who we got next?
Like I say, that was when we were. If that had been video, that segment that would have been fire. Maybe that's how we
You used
bring
to
it
find
back.
stuff in my pictures before I was on the show, like I didn't even know was in the pictures. And like you just come along and just go, about time you got a new TV remote, and I'm like, the hell's he on about? And then you look and it's like the old TV remote that's just on the side, just well out of shot to see the edge of it. And the button's worn and the writing's come off. But you'd zoomed in and zoomed in and zoomed in and found it. Oh, rocking an LG, are we?
Look,
Amazing. That's a talent. That's a
you
talent.
send it to me, it becomes my property. I want to look at all of it.
You're like them, what they call them geo searches, whatever, where you just give them one picture and they find exactly where it is in the world. I half expect to send you a copy of like a picture of a new game I've bought, and you send me back a picture of my front door. How's he done that? Oh, I worked out exactly where you are.
Oh, that happened a while ago. Is it me?
Oh
Thank you,
God.
Ginge, my
Thank you,
beloved
Ginge, by the way.
red-headed stepson. Up next, Harvey Retro. Got to say thank you to you. He's a current Lord of Darkness, but he also is an amazing, wonderful, kind, humble human being. And you
Mm-hmm.
should check him out on Enigmatic Productions on Instagram on his own under his own name. The man's an absolute legend.
Mm.
If you don't get all over him like a rash,
Who are you?
who are you?
Mm.
Yeah, you saved me from myself. Thank you.
Mm.
Who's next?
The wonderful Emma Sharp.
Mm.
Yeah, she's very pleased with her artwork and her 300th episode artwork and bits and pieces. So,
Did she get a t-shirt?
no, she was just outside of the t-shirts. So she had artwork and she had. So your name made me feel very guilty. Um, Thanks for that. But anyway, thank you, Emma. Much appreciated as always. Move on.
This man, I believe I found him.
Ah,
He is hiding out in an Aztec temple somewhere in South America. I don't know exactly where. A little bit like you've been geocaching. You said I geocache. I've been working on him, working on where he is, working on how to find him, how to track him down, slowly eliminating things one thing at a time. And I've started this new policy, and this is the first attempt. And I thought I'd go for a big one. Because if he's not hiding in the Aztec temple, then he's not there. But then he's also nowhere near Berlin either, by his
mm,
own suggestion.
mm.
So I've ruled out two. I mean, he could be just outside the Aztec temple, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. So I thought I'd start there and work outwards. So
Good idea.
next week I'll say, are you on the steps of the Aztec temple? On the
Could be a few
east?
shows before you
On the
find him.
north next week, on the west, week after
Mm,
south, week after that. Are you
this
on the
could.
ground around
It's
it to
going to
the
take a few
east?
shows. This,
Yeah.
to,
So I
yeah.
thought I'd start with a notable landmark that's nowhere near Berlin and work out.
Which definitely isn't. So
Yeah.
good choice. Good choice. Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Next up, we have someone that we all should thank, really, and that's Mumsy.
Let the sun
Mm,
hit it.
mm. Anyway, wise words, George. Thank you. Yes.
Have you listened to the Me and Bobby show?
Nope.
I tell you, you are worse than you're a son of a bitch. You're worse than OG.
Am I on the show?
you are talked about considerably.
Okay, maybe I'll listen then, but I'll see if I get a spare few minutes.
Wow.
But,
Anyway, Mumsy, let the sun hit it.
hmm, thanks, Mumsy.
RGT, let the
You've
sun hit
changed.
it.
Actually, no, you haven't changed one bit.
Let the sun hit it. Golden moment. Is it me? God. Oh, wow. Mm. Well, RGT fan club.
Speaking of gods,
The RGT fan club. I
yep,
suppose the only thing I can say is God bless you both and let the sun hit it.
I know you're waiting for me to say something, but I have no idea. Comment down below if you do. Next up, yes,
Yeah, I
thanks.
do.
Yeah, RGT Fan Club, thank you very much. Next up, we have another silent, very violent.
Mm.
Come on, Pete, we need to get you in Discord. Just unveil yourself on Discord. Come
Oh,
on.
I'd love to see Pete Brocklehurst turn up in a t-shirt, all the merch,
Oh,
dripping in
with
it.
guns as well as a rival to Ginge.
Ooh. Or if
Yeah.
he was like the anti like thesis of Ginge, would he just have little bits of string, but like somehow have the better of him in another way? Maybe he'd have massive legs.
Oh, that was. I wondered where that was heading.
So it'd be like, hey, Ginge, like so Ginger's got his picture up there, but
Oh,
then
just
if it
these
panned
massive
out
ripped calves like two turkeys.
and then Ginger's got these two little strings, which I know ain't true because he's my boy, not genetically, but I wouldn't let him get away with it. And then you've got um Pete Brocklehurst, who like just sends pictures of his like abnormally massive muscle legs.
Hmm. Not say two turkey calves.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Goose.
Like literally, he's got the top part of his calf looks like Jeff Capes on the right hand side, and the left hand side top looks like Jeff Capes, and then the bottom half of his leg looks like an even smaller Jeff Capes, and the bottom half of his other leg. Just for clarity, I don't want anyone thinking that there was another strongman here. That Jeff Capes is also on his right, like lower leg.
I mean, that's massive. That's
Maybe his ankle is
it's
also
quad
Jeff
cape.
Capes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And maybe his foot then, as token for that, also to keep him in scale, is also another Jeff Capes. And also on the other side, just for legality and
I
clarity.
think there's maybe a t-shirt idea there.
Yeah.
Brocklehurst quad capes.
But then like a tiny little body.
Yeah, yeah. Just every day's leg day. His bench press with his legs a mini metro every morning.
And then do one of Ginge where it's the opposite, and then
Yeah,
people who get both t-shirts can like Velcro them together
yeah.
to make the ultimate human. The Brockle
Ginge
Ginge.
Brocklehurst.
Yeah, Ginge Brockle.
Anyway, thanks, Pete. Hope that gets you out of your shell a bit. Who we got next?
Um Billy Marmite, another silent but violent. One day he's going to turn up in the Discord or appear on Instagram wearing a t-shirt. You can live in hope. But either which way, thank you as always for your generous donation.
Yes, thank you,
And
Billy.
to everybody on the list, and just as importantly to the man who comes next. Now, RGT,
Yes.
you said you wanted to do the GIF this week, so we've allowed you to do that.
I don't believe that was ever said, but I'm quite happy to geef now if you want me to.
Yeah,
Hmm. Right, you're going to guess what I'm geefing about?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. First. But. Hmm. What do you reckon this was about?
I think that was a strained geef.
Very
If yeah,
angry,
I like to
angry.
think I'm a bit of a geef spotter now. Like I've seen a couple of geefs in my time, maybe once or twice. I'm a man of experience. I've been on the show, been around.
Proper geefer is what we like to call it.
Yeah, I'm a proper geefer. It's diamond geefer. There's a collector's guy, I'm a diamond geefer. So that gave under strain execution, I have to say, probably an 8.45 on the latter half of the execution, probably a 7, so an aggregated probably 8.2 for the Geef.
on the Geef
Um,
scale.
yeah, I felt like it was you told me you stubbed your toe earlier, but simultaneously for some reason you didn't know whether it was nerves or frightened. Because you know when you were younger, if you sat down too hard, you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You hurt your bum. You're like, oh. You were kind of like halfway between two sort of straights, and I sensed that from you. So I think it was a stow-tub climax, and then the kind of like the surprise, and almost the relief as well, because it was like a pressure valve for your anger.
10 out of 10. Brilliant. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely brilliant.
Okay. So
Yeah,
8.2 for performance.
thank you.
Um, maybe work on maybe making it look a little sweatier.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I worked on the sound, but the look and depth, I don't think was quite there. But I will
Yeah, we're on
practice.
the YouTube now.
So I need to them facial expressions. I need to properly give. So
Do you feel
mm.
like you're half geef? Do you want to have another go at a geef and see if you can get it
No,
all out? Or
it's given me a little bit of a sore throat because I did get quite raspy when I was just hitting the high geef. So I need to just work on my voice a bit. So yeah, I'll uh, I'll practice me high geef for next week. But thanks everyone,
I
as
don't even
always.
know.
Come on with a serious show. Come on.
Deadly serious.
Mhm.
I suppose with all that said and done, we've arrived at the point in time in the show where I have to ask you what you're hoping to play. Did I ask you what you've been playing at the start? 'Cause I don't feel like I said those words.
I believe you did. It was quite a while ago now, so I can't remember.
Oh,
There's been
comment
loads
below.
of.
Did I ask him what he's been playing, or did you just launch into a diatribe about it? I got
And if he did,
ambushed.
timestamp it, put it in the comments.
Yeah, but it doesn't count unless I see at least 10 different people doing 10 of the same timestamp. Then I will look at the video and I'll believe it.
Yeah, good idea. I'm hoping to get Xenoblade Chronicles sort of done. I'm a bit stuck on a boss fight at the moment, but hopefully I'll get that done. And yeah, sort of, like I say, I think 5 to 8 hours left. So I'm hoping I get that done this week. I want to get back on Forza Horizon 6. I've been missing out. I haven't played it since I come back off holiday. I need to get some more races done on there. Captain's been sending me some of his builds of cars he's done. Superb. So I'm gonna use the codes and download some of those and build or do the builds on those. Play, hopefully get story about my uncle, get that done. That's getting a bit tricky, but I think I'm about an hour and a half in, so about halfway. That was really good. And then if I do finish Xenoblade Chronicles, I need to think of what the next game or big game I'm going to play will be. I don't think I'll jump straight to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. One, because I haven't bought it yet, the Switch 2 version, and two, I think we need a bit of a palate cleanser before. So there's a few games I want to get on the Switch first. So I'll look into maybe purchasing them this week and
What do you
we'll
reckon they
see.
might be?
There's some random ones because I want to buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2 anyway, so I'll probably purchase that. I'm looking at maybe getting the Mario Tennis game.
Mm.
I saw Firm Returns has been playing that and been sort of completing the career mode stuff. And I said, he thought, do you know what? I'd really like to get that. I enjoyed the Mario Tennis games; they're really good. Also, I saw on Instagram the Jaws retro replay or whatever it was. You can get a physical of that on the Switch, and I looked at that and thought, oh, that looks so good. It's almost like the sort of remade NES version of the game, and you have missions on your single screen to do as Jaws and stuff, and almost like an early sort of man eater sort of
Man eater,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love that sort of retro NES style, so I might pick that up as well. But we'll see how funds are for games this week. But they're a few of the contenders anyway, so bit of a mix and match on everything, but
Wow.
on
Okay.
genres. But what about you, George? What you hoping to
Me,
play?
I want to be stepping back into the shoes of Dr. Indiana
Mm,
Jones. I want to get lost in the next stages of my Egypt adventure, which I'm very much enjoying. Like I say, my only fear is that I don't want to overdo it, which is why I lent a bit into Final Fantasy VIII as a like concurrent thing, just to wipe the slate clean a little bit after. Um, and that is also something I'll be playing. That's, you don't realize how many hours you've done on that, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, this is too long for a game I'm allegedly not enjoying.
mm.
one of the other downsides is that you can't skip the battle summons, and sometimes you need to do a lot of them. And when you sit and work out how many of the animations you need to see to execute to see this thing done, it's like, okay, strap in for 21 times this movie unskippable. Oof.
Yeah, I can understand that. There's one where you get on Xenoblade where it's like your character, without any spoilers, can see things that happen a bit in the future. So that will tell you that will show you a vision of like you're going to get hurt or one of your colleagues is going to get hurt. And then when you come back out of that, you have to make your way to that colleague or you press B to tell them so then they can prepare for it. But that's just that little cutscene. That's probably only a few seconds, but you sit there thinking you're right in the middle of this big fight. Oh, just then about to get the Monado to hit him. And then it goes, whew, gives you this vision. You've gone, oh, skip, skip, skip.
Mm.
I know it's just impatient, but it's because you're in a high battle at the time and you're concentrating, getting, oh, hang on, you have to do that hit, make your way around, warn them, get back to your position. But it's just that little cut where you just want, oh, yeah, I get the idea. Can we make it a bit shorter, please?
Yeah. Um, or do some variation. So you're not seeing the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing every time, I think would
yeah.
be my probably takeaway. But this game's made and done. And the feedback will probably be absorbed into Final Fantasy IX, uh, or maybe not. So
Mm.
we'll see.
Mm.
With all that said and done, RGT, are we all done? All the housekeeping's clean. Everyone knows what to do, which is subscribe on the YouTube. It's that simple. Get
Yeah,
part. That's
I think
it.
we've
That's
covered
the
it all.
first step to becoming part of the family. If that's all you
Yeah.
do today, that is a big boost. Get on there, get that done, and then you
Even
can
just by
explore
hitting that
more.
subscribe button, you'll get the video of UCP each week. You'll get the flashback show as well. So
Oh, you will.
you get two shows a week on YouTube, all for free, just by hitting that sub, and then they'll just, you'll have your times when they come up and you can
Yeah,
watch it.
because we
So
see a lot of people keep coming back, not anyone subscribing.
yeah, give us a
So
sub. Go
make it
on. So you
easy
don't
for
miss any.
yourself.
Yeah. So you don't miss none.
Typing
So
unofficial controller podcast into your YouTube every day that's craziness.
hmm, yeah.
Just go your nice little warm area and have a nibble. And
Well
that's all we
said.
have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. Look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, RGT.
Laters.
See you, everyone.